Yeah.
children's behaviour. And it's interesting that we were talking before about the fact that children are seeking attention
Yes.
from their parents and from teachers, obviously, and especially if they're not getting attention at home, they could be seeking it elsewhere, and that's an unmet need. How much work do you need to, or do you do with teachers to help them understand, and parents, to help them understand that children do have needs,
Yeah.
um, and how to identify them? Because sometimes it is tricky to understand what their needs are, but it often comes back to values, doesn't it? What their highest value is at that moment, and what
Yes,
they.
absolutely. Yeah. So I tend to talk about regulation versus tantrum. And so that's, like a starting point, which is, so let's talk about what's happening. There is a difference. So is it something that they need, or is it something that they need? And,
Yeah.
so we unpack those two sides and talk about, that there's very few tantrums. Most tantrums are age appropriate because they haven't got the language capacity or the emotional literacy yet to be able to articulate what their little body frantically wants. And then I talk about, the importance of regulation. So we're not ever going to be able to function unless we regulate it. And so a lot of the training and a lot of the capacity building comes into, let's look at what's happening with our sensory system, and let's look at what's happening when we're not meeting those sensory needs, or we're not understanding those sensory needs, and how just incorporating that understanding switches so quickly. So for me, a lot of the stuff comes to, what's the quickest way that we can see a change? Let's go with that. And then you've got the buy-in straight away. It's incredible.
Yeah.
They just keep coming back for more. It's fabulous.
How do we get buy-in very quickly?
Yeah.
I had
And
one of my twins had a screaming tantrum. A scream I've never heard before. It was so loud. It was ear piercing. And it came down to the lack of control. And obviously, it comes back to those, I suppose, shadow values in some ways, that I'm feeling out of control here, so I have to get back in control. So I'm going to scream, and I'm going to throw things, and I'm going to assert my control and my authority, I suppose, over my sister, because it was with her. She was fighting with her sister, and the other sister is quite dominating of her. So that's her way of getting back control, which is not it's not healthy, but